In 1720, while cruising to Port Imperial, Jamaica, on board HMS Daring, lead representative Weatherby Swan's group experiences a wreck and recuperates a kid, Will Turner. Swan's little girl, Elizabeth, finds a brilliant privateer emblem around Will's neck, and takes it. After 8 years, skipper James Norrington is elevated to Commodore and proposes to Elizabeth. Her bodice makes her weak and fall into the ocean, making the emblem radiate a heartbeat. Commander Jack Sparrow, having recently shown up in Port Illustrious to lay hold of a boat, salvages Elizabeth. Norrington recognizes Jack as a privateer, and a pursuit follows. Jack experiences Will, presently a smithy. They duel, and Jack is detained. That evening, the team of the Dark Pearl assaults Port Regal, looking for the emblem. The privateers catch Elizabeth, taking her to meet Commander Barbossa. Elizabeth guarantees her last name is Turner, to cover her way of life as the lead representative's little girl. Barbossa makes sense of that the emblem is the remainder of 882 gold pieces his group took from a buried fortune of Hernán Cortés on Isla de Muerte. Cortés had acknowledged the fortune as installment to forestall the fall of Tenochtitlan, however didn't satisfy his piece of the deal. The Aztec divine beings reviled the fortune. Barbossa and any individuals from his team who took the coins were reviled and became undead who can feel unending yearning and torment whose valid, skeletal structures are uncovered in moonlight. To lift the revile, they should return the fortune, each coin stained with either its taker's blood or the blood of the taker's immediate family member. Accepting Elizabeth is the girl of Bill Turner, whom Barbossa attempts to suffocate subsequent to finding he sent the emblem to his child, Barbossa chooses to utilize her blood on the emblem. To save Elizabeth, whom he cherishes, Will liberates Jack, who was the past commander of the Dark Pearl before Barbossa organized an uprising. The two lay hold of HMS Interceptor, a little sloop of war, and set out toward Tortuga. There, Jack enrolls his companion Joshua Gibbs to assist them with gathering a group. Pursuing the Pearl to the Isla de Muerte, Will and Jack observer Barbossa cut Elizabeth's hand, stain the coin, and return it to the chest. As she isn't Bill Turner's family member, the revile doesn't lift. Will salvages Elizabeth and carries her to the Interceptor, while Jack is caught by Barbossa and secured in the brig of the Pearl. The Pearl seeks after the Interceptor, obliterating it and kidnapping Jack's team. Understanding that it is him Barbossa needs, Will makes an arrangement with Barbossa to deliver Elizabeth in return for his blood, however Barbossa takes advantage of a proviso in the arrangement, marooning Jack and Elizabeth on an island. Elizabeth makes a smoke signal, and Norrington carries the courageous to save Elizabeth and capture Jack. Elizabeth vows to wed Norrington assuming he will seek after the Pearl and save Will. That evening, the Daring shows up at Isla de Muerte. Jack tells Norrington he will bait the privateers out to be trapped by the group of the courageous, yet rather convinces Barbossa's team to go after the bold before they lift the revile and lose their eternality. Elizabeth gets away from the courageous and liberates Jack's team from the brig of the Pearl. They won't protect Jack and Will, so Elizabeth sets out all alone. Jack again switches sides, liberating Will and dueling Barbossa, while Elizabeth and Will fend off Barbossa's crew members. At the point when Barbossa cuts Jack, it is uncovered that Jack took a piece of gold from the chest and is similarly reviled and incapable to kick the bucket. Jack shoots Barbossa, and Will returns the 2 coins to the chest with his and Jack's blood on them. The revile is lifted, Barbossa kicks the bucket from Jack's shot, and the remainder of Barbossa's group, presently not everlasting, are captured. At Port Regal, Jack is to be hanged for theft. Elizabeth redirects Norrington's consideration while Will endeavors a salvage, yet Jack and Will are encircled. Elizabeth mediates and announces her adoration for Will. Lead Representative Swan exculpations Will and gives his approval for Elizabeth to wed him. Jack plunges into the ocean and departures on board the close by Pearl, recovering the boat and his new group. Norrington grants Jack and the Pearl 1 day's early advantage prior to starting pursuit.